Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 11th day of June 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure you observe the rules of the road. Remember, the life you save may just be your own. Those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that, For the Record, birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. So, those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. And again this morning, big shout out to our colleague, Mr. Joel Wilson, our other colleague, DJ Lynn, back with us as well, looking great. Had an opportunity to have a short conversation with him yesterday as well, and really doing great. And again, we want to continue our prayers for those who are still recovering from any illness that they may have occurred as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open, and or we have Miss Susan Watson, beautiful radio voice, waiting to take your calls. Our numbers, toll-free number 1-800-534-8255, also 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp number 925-3261. But we're going to close those phone lines off for a little bit here, because first of all, we're going to look at the birthday shout-outs, and we have one here sending birthday greetings to Richard Law, wishing him a blessed day from his wife, Tiffany, children, Benjamin and Catherine, and mother-in-law, Virginia. And that is for tomorrow, the 12th of June, when Mr. Law will be celebrating his birthday, Richard Law. Also, other birthdays we see for today, Miss Tara Bush celebrating her birthday today. Former colleague and now over in the BRAC, Miss Liz Walton, celebrating her birthday today as well. Tomorrow, that was okay. Yesterday, Daniel Doucette celebrated his birthday, and Amy Enlightened celebrated a birthday as well. Today, Miss Tara, Miss Liz. Upcoming birthdays, Deandra Watson, tomorrow, the 12th of June, and also tomorrow, former minister, former member of parliament, Miss Sabrina Turner, will be celebrating her birthday tomorrow as well. So, folks, on last week, we carried live the proceedings of Finance Committee. I had the opportunity also to listen and to watch it on the parliamentary website, CIG TV. And afterwards, I reported on what the member from Bordentown West, Mr. Chris Saunders, pointed out about the Health Services Authority. Since then, we have seen some publications, including today in the Cayman Compass, one of their headline stories, MP, some HSA board members paid more than medical professionals. So on Monday, want to make sure that that's the date that we have on here, the Board of Directors of the Health Services Authority issued a statement, and I'm going to try to share it in its entirety with you this morning. Statement from the HSA Board, Performance, Tenure, and Compensation, Cayman Islands Health Services Authority. And they go on to point out that the Health Services Authority is the largest public institution in the Cayman Islands, with an annual budget exceeding $100 million and audited revenues over $200 million CI dollars as of the 2024 financial year. The legal and good governance environment of the HSA demands experienced, engaged, and accountable board oversight of clinical, financial, strategic, and operational performance. Board members are selected based on proven expertise in relevant fields, including medicine, law, finance, and business. Then a subhead is board commitment, oversight, and responsibilities. Board members commit substantial time to these obligations, regularly totaling more than 40 hours per month, inclusive of preparatory work for which no compensation is paid, such as document review and due diligence for board and subcommittee meetings and other meetings. These meetings address care quality issues, major capital and strategic projects, regulatory compliance, hospital projects, audit scrutiny, and financial performance and policy review. The volume and complexity of the work are considerable. Under the topic, the title of compensation and process, board compensation is determined strictly by cabinet directive and not by the board itself. The annual rates are currently chair $750 per meeting / official HSA business, deputy chair $600 per meeting / official HSA business, members $500 per meeting / official HSA business. And there's a document also showing that in, I think it's 2021, Cabinet approved these changes as well. Every meeting of the Health Services Authority Board and payments to members are appropriately documented, reviewed and audited as a part of the HSA's annual audit. Hence, non-executive board members being appointed or reappointed are entitled to rely on the unchallenged audits of the Health Services Authority, on which clear opinions have been given over the past 6 years. None of those audits question the existing practice and compensation paid accordingly. But further on, I believe that there was a general opinion coming from the Auditor General's office expressing concerns in the non-uniformity of the way that board members were compensated. Various board members were compensated, not just the HSA. Under the heading of local and international comparisons, there are great variations in honoraria across government statutory boards. The HSA board is not at the highest compensation. The current level of HSA board remuneration anomalous is not anomalous, but falls well within benchmarks for comparable public authorities in both the region and the relevant Commonwealth jurisdictions. They go on to give examples. The UK National Health Service compensates non-executive directors between 12,000 CI to 25,000 CI per annum, with higher payments for board chairs. In Canada and the UK, Health Authority board members routinely receive annual stipends ranging from $7,500 to over $20,000, with considerably higher payments to chairpersons responsible for extensive strategic engagement. In Bermuda and the British Virgin Islands, comparable board roles are compensated at US $700 to $1,200 per meeting, often with separate allowance for travel. Other Caribbean jurisdictions, including Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago, offer rates equal to or above those in Cayman, recognizing the need for for attracting qualified oversight. Then there's a topic, another heading, why multiple meetings? But we have to go to a commercial break. When we return, I will continue to share with you this statement issued by the Board of Directors of the Health Services Authority. Please stay tuned.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Sherman Erdis Ebank, Certificate of Honor, 1915 through 1995. Captain Erdis was a pioneer in the charter fishing and diving industry, for which he received the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor in 1991. He introduced the sport of boxing to the Cayman Islands, for which he received recognition from the Ministry of Sports, Youth Affairs, and Culture. He was a pioneer in the taxi service and in Jeep rental. He served in the Royal Cayman Islands Police Force for 10 years. During that time, the Home Guard was established, and he served there as well, keeping watch at the lighthouses during World War II. He was married to Phyllis R. Ebanks, and the couple had 4 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Ready for some real magic this summer? Coca-Cola is giving your family the chance to win a trip to the happiest place on earth, Disney World, Orlando. Just buy any 8-pack of Coca-Cola or Sprite products at participating stores island-wide for your chance to make this summer even more magical. Imagine the laughter, the memories, the adventure, all with an ice-cold Coca-Cola in hand. Coca-Cola, real magic is just a sip away.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I'm sharing with you a statement put out by the Health Services Authority Board of Directors following the Member of Parliament for Bordentown West statement and questions in Finance Committee, and I would imagine also comments that were made right here on Radio Cayman by me in relation to this as well. Most of my comments were limited to trying to paraphrase what was said by the Member of Parliament, but also at some point in time, points during the discussion as well, also offering my own comments as well. I should also point out two things. Number one, that the Board of Directors of the Health Services Authority is not an executive board. That means that they're really not directly involved in the day-to-day operations of the health the Hospital or Health Services Authority. Also, I mentioned earlier that in 2021, the change in compensation for board members was approved by Cabinet. So in a letter of the 22nd of February 2021, then Minister Dwayne S. Seymour conveyed to the chair, Mr. Tibbetts, the information that at a meeting held on the 16th of February 2021, Cabinet had granted approval for the changes in compensation, and those changes are read earlier as part of the statement by the Board of Directors as well. So, under the topic of why multiple meetings, says in recent years, the Health Services Authority Board has had to address a slate of multifaceted issues, including but not limited to oversight of adherence to updated international accreditation standards, evolving Cayman Islands and international regulatory requirements, increase in service demands, adherence to financial requirements and organizational performance, large-scale capital investments and compliance measures related to quality, patient safety, and ethics. In addition, the HSA experienced a demanding Joint Commission international accreditation process, which required extensive board oversight and governance work. In addition, the board was required under the HSA's own governance rules to be directly involved in a complex clinical legal matter that demanded significant time, attention, and engagement beyond the norm. These were exceptional circumstances, not indicative of routine board operations or new status quo. Therefore, the demands of the board have correspondingly increased over this period. It is important to emphasize that such periods of intensive board activity are dictated by the organizational needs and statutory obligations rather than by any arbitrary or discretionary factors. And then they talk about the direct link between demand and compensation. Where an individual board member's compensation appears higher during certain periods, this is directly attributable to verifiable increases in carrying out official HSA business and meeting requirements. Okay, but they're not an executive board, okay? Compensation is structured to reflect documented time spent in meetings or in the conduct of official HSA business, not to reward attendance arbitrarily or increase overall remuneration. In months where the board addresses simultaneous or overlapping priorities such as financial year end, regulatory audits, or urgent public health challenges, sitting as an appellate body, members' commitments increase and compensation reflects this supplementary demand. In no case is compensation increased absent a corresponding and objectively measured increase in duties undertaken. Then they talk about board, I don't have a whole lot of time, board performance and accountability. And they provide figures as that. One of the things that I notice in this, and I understand that the board is trying to be as transparent as possible. They talk about the increase in Caymanian staff, up to 21% increase for to a total of 600 and something. But what they didn't give us in this statement was what was the overall staff complement of the Health Services Authority, because what that would do, here it is, it says Caymanian employment at the HSA increased by 21% over the review period, from 542 to 656, with hiring protocols explicitly prioritizing local candidates. What they didn't say is what percentage of the total number of employees at the Health Services Authority does the 656, does that number represent? That would be interesting as well, because then we would be able to compare apples to apples instead. Like I said, this is their explanation. We accept it. What was said by me in relation to this, there was only one member of the Health Services Board that I really knew that was on there at the time. Since then, with the publication of board members, I know, and I will clearly point out here that nothing
It's time to start preparing for this year's hurricane season.
Nothing was directed towards any individual board member. I basically stand by the comments that I made, some including the fact that maybe this is something that the Auditor General should look into, and we have now received information that the Auditor General has looked into certain things here. Whether or not they have gone to the granular issues, I'm not sure, and also whether or not the standards in public life needed to look into it as well. I think what is obvious, and what the Auditor General has said, is that we really need to have some standard way of compensating board members rather than this haphazard way, because I know a lot of red lights went up in 2021 when this increase was made because of the such a high percentage. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news, we have to go to it. I want to again thank the HSA Board of Directors for issuing this. And of course, the Member of Parliament has requested additional information, so we'll see what plays out there as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. The time is now 8:01, and the time check is brought to you by Foster's.
It's time to start preparing for this year's hurricane season, and Foster's has the essentials you need to weather a storm.
Stock up on canned goods, non-perishable foods, water, health and first aid items, pet supplies, flashlights, and other hurricane kit essentials.
Start preparing now using our online hurricane guide and emergency checklist. Just head to fosters.ky for more info. You can also follow us at Foster's Cayman on Facebook and Instagram for helpful tips throughout the season.
Foster's, better because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The Planning Ministry is looking to adjust the country's high watermark boundaries.
One of the things that I want to look at very quickly is making changes to our boundary when it comes to our high watermark. This was something that was part of our whole scheme of our development plan and changes to the legislation for the planning aspect of it, but it's something that I just want to pluck out of that whole thing and just take that forward very quickly and try to make the changes on that.
Speaking on Radio Cayman, Planning Minister the Honourable J. Ebanks told listeners his team is planning to review high watermark surveys on the beaches, working in tandem with the Ministry of Environment.
Have a conversation with her also where we think the new high watermark surveys should be at versus where we used to go where, before people would wait and 1 minute the sand shifts and you get a different high watermark from whether we're looking at the vegetation or whether we're looking at a 20-year line.
While discussing top priorities for his ministry, Mr. Ebanks also highlighted the continued work on the long-awaited Cayman Islands Development Plan, upcoming road projects, and upgrades for the Airports Authority. It's a good rating for Sir John A. Cumber Primary School. Sir John A. Cumber Primary School in West Bay is the largest government primary school in the Cayman Islands. Since the previous inspection, the senior leadership team has seen some changes and enrollment has increased, catering to kids between the ages of 4 and 11, from reception to year 6. Approximately 10% of students have special education needs. Following satisfactory judgments in 2020 and 2022, the Office of Education Standards has bumped that rating up to good after inspecting Sir John A. Cumber in May. Areas the school excels in include improvement planning, good communication with parents, a multi-purpose learning environment, and new provisions for students with autistic spectrum disorder. Going forward, the OES recommends Sir John A. Cumber continue to improve attainment in all subjects with a particular focus on math, further strengthen the consistency of effective teaching by using tools to support student interaction and engagement, and continue to build capacity in autistic spectrum disorder provision to make sure student progress is sustained. Preparation starts now. That's the message from the Cayman Islands Coast Guard this hurricane season.
I would implore people not to wait until an impending hurricane is announced to rush to the grocery store or start trying to implement your last-minute plans. From the first day of June, we should, if not before, we should actually be taking stock of what is inside of our homes. What do we need to have on hand in the event that a hurricane just pop up on us? I think the common theme that you'll hear going forward is prepare, prepare, prepare.
Coast Guard Commander Robert Scotland there on Radio Cayman's Talk Today, saying preparation extends to anyone who owns a vessel as well.
Identify where you're going to keep your vessel, and a lot of that will have to do on the direction that the hurricane is taking, whether it's going to the south of the island, to the north of the island, or in some cases, it may be coming directly from the south going north. Make sure that that area is not a place where if you do moor your vessel and it does come loose, it's going to pose a threat to other people.
Mr. Scotland says in the past, they've seen boats break away and end up inside homes, so think carefully where you're going to store your vessels. Most importantly, if a hurricane is coming, do not go into the water. And little change at the pump. According to the Utility Regulation and Competition Office, self-service regular gas is averaging $4.94 this week, down 1 cent since the last check on May 31st. The average price for premium self-service is up a penny at $5.51, and diesel is clocking in at $5.17, a dip of 2 cents. According to Offreg, you can get the cheapest self-service regular gas at Brown's Industrial Park, where it's reportedly selling for $4.65. The average price in Cayman Brac is $5.85, while folks in Little Cayman are still paying $7.11 a gallon. On the diesel side of things, refuel has the best value according to the Offreg website at $4.69 a gallon. You can log on to offreg.ky for the full breakdown. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News. In a damning report, the UN says nearly 140 million children were still working in the world's fields and factories last year, meaning that eliminating child labour could be delayed by hundreds of years. Some progress, however, is being made. The Sudanese army says it's retreated from the Libya-Egypt-Sudan border triangle. On Tuesday, it accused troops loyal to the Eastern Libya military commander, Khalifa Haftar, of carrying out an attack alongside the paramilitary RSF. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
Brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322.
Super Jam.
Also brought to you by Cayman Airways. Call them at 949-2311 to book your non-stop flights to Los Angeles and Panama.
Superior Auto Center. Do it right the first time with Superior Auto.
949-9570
or 525-9571.
Superior Auto. They keep your car in tune.
And Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola.
An Ocean Deep Mobile Massage, your go-to for high-quality massage and spa services. WhatsApp 924-4159 or email oceandeepmassage21@gmail.com.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning, Cayman. This is the official public weather forecast prepared by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. The temperature is showing 86 degrees Fahrenheit with a relative humidity of 79%. The barometric pressure is 30.01 and rising, with winds east-southeast at 4 knots and a overnight low of 81 degrees Fahrenheit. The synopsis is showing light to moderate winds and moderate seas are expected during the next 24 hours as a ridge of high pressure dominates the weather across the northern Caribbean. In addition, slight Saharan dust intrusion and residual moisture will allow for an intermix of isolated showers and hazy conditions. Radar imagery shows isolated showers to the north of the Cayman Islands moving northwest. Forecast for today is showing fair becoming cloudy at times with a 30% chance of isolated showers with a light dust haze. Temperatures will rise to the low 90s Fahrenheit with a heat index near 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of showers and isolated thunder. Temperatures will fall to the low 80s Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Tides today high at 8:43 a.m., low 3:34 p.m., and high 10:50 p.m. Tomorrow, low at 4:46 a.m., high 9:21 a.m., and low 4:04 p.m., and high again 11:22 p.m. The sunset today is showing 7:02 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow is showing 5:48 a.m. The outlook is for an increased chance in showers from Friday morning as a weak surface trough moves across the western Caribbean. And that is your official public weather forecast prepared by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service.
We want
on the edge of a breakthrough. I knew the substance was extraterrestrial, but I didn't realize.
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with managing my insurance?
Well, long story long, the entire lab exploded, and the radioactive sludge went everywhere. I ended up in the hospital for a few weeks, but I was able to manage everything with the CG Online portal.
The online portal. Safe, convenient, simple. CG Brit-K. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Brit-K, where people come first.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets. Ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is urging the public to ensure their passports are valid and secured ahead of hurricane season, which begins Sunday, 1st of June, 2025. The public should check the validity of their passports, verify entry requirements, apply or renew passports and visas early and safely. Store important documents in waterproof containers. For more information, contact 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Hungry? Need Subway any time of the day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Subway at Anderson Square, Centennial Towers, and Countryside Shopping Village is open 24/7, serving up fresh, delicious subs anytime you need them. And for your weekend cravings, West Shore Center is also open 24 hours on Friday nights and until 1 a.m. on Saturdays, because it's never too late for a great meal. Skip the line and order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app, or get your favorites delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Fresh, fast, and always here when you need us. Subway, eat fresh.
Good morning, Cayman. Just here to give you your traffic update. So if you're heading up to the east-west arterial road, coming from Shamrock Road and the bypass, traffic is moving steady. It's actually flowing pretty good. No traffic that is going to hold you up for work. As we look at Crew Road passing Jose Gas Station, the traffic is steady. There's a slow build-up. A little bit of traffic there. And as we look at Shamrock Road around the Red Bay Primary School area, there seems to be no traffic. It's flowing steadily and smoothly. Not much traffic over there. We take a look over at Edward Street, and there's no traffic in town right now. Take a look at Owen Roberts Drive. There's also no traffic right now. It's moving. And as we look at the CNB roundabout, traffic flowing into the CNB roundabout, it's bumper to bumper, but it's flowing steadily. We take a look over at West Bay Road, and there's no traffic at all. There's flowing smoothly, heading into town and heading into West Bay. And that is your traffic report, brought to you by Subway.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
There's nothing more important than your health, and seeking expert healthcare with physicians you can trust is what you deserve. UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, offers peace of mind to you and your family with a first-class experience. Our patient coordinators assist with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. As South Florida's only academic-based health system, UHealth offers cutting-edge treatment, compassionate care, and life-changing results just a flight away. Learn more at umiamihealth.org/international.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In a few minutes, we will have the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, in the studio with us, along with the Member of Parliament representing Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum. They will be in the studio with us. Meanwhile, we have been asked to give a birthday shout out to Miss Virginia Borden, who is the wife of Mr. Norman Borden, former Member of Parliament, former Minister in her Executive Council as well. She is celebrating her birthday tomorrow. She will be 87 years young tomorrow. And when I last saw her and when I last spoke to her, she was extremely vibrant, knowledgeable as well, and such a beautiful lady inside and outside as well. A very caring human being. These are the type of people who do things for others that you never hear about, you don't know about, but they do. So, Miss Virginia, happy birthday to you when it comes tomorrow, and may you live to see many, many more as well. Also, the birthday for yesterday, we had the person's Amy Enlightened, and I think her name is Amy Slee, I'm told, as well. And so Amy Enlightened is her artistic name that she uses as well. So again, those additional shout-outs. Meanwhile, I have in the studio with me none other than Mr. Roy Tatum, the Member of Parliament representing the constituency of Red Bay. Mr. Tatum, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. How are you?
Good morning, and well, thank you very much. And certainly good morning to the good people of Red Bay, all of Grand Cayman, and of course my friends and family over there in Cayman Braca and Little Cayman. Good morning.
Okay, good morning as well. We understand that you have a meeting that you have to attend Parliament later on.
Yeah, it's a training session at 10. Parliament have been very good getting all us new folks, even some of the ones that have been there for a while, up to speed on some of the change with standing orders and a few other things. So that's at 10. So we'll be leaving here about 9:30. The Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, is on his way. He's been delayed in traffic.
Okay.
So he asked me to just let you be aware of that. He'll be here as soon as he can.
Okay. Now, this training session in Parliament is conducted by whom?
The one today is by the Law Revision Commission, which I used to know as the Law Reform. I don't know if the name has been changed, and the Honourable Attorney General.
Okay.
So it will take us through
Well, let me just read it.
Or is the AG, is he here or his office? Or I thought he was away or going.
He may be away. I'm not sure. It just says Law Revision Commission and the Honourable Attorney General have indicated that they wish to provide training session on the legislation process and navigating the legislation.gov.ky website for members of Parliament. So
so maybe
he may not be here.
Yeah, maybe one of it. I think those meetings that they talk about the 12th and the 14th, I believe, actually. So
okay, that's right. Yes. Important meetings.
Yes.
Good to be here with you, sir.
Good. How are things going? With you? And normally talking about training as well. I think that the Parliament usually try to get new members as much exposure as possible, even over at the UK Parliament as well. Have you heard anything about that yet? Is there anything like that?
No, I haven't heard anything about the UK Parliament. But what they have done is they've been doing an excellent job. I actually brought along, well, your viewers can see it, but a little booklet that they prepared here locally for us. The standing orders have changed. So even I was familiar with some of the former standing orders, but things have changed. So a very useful booklet on parliamentary practices and procedures, which they've provided to us. And it's actually, I'm not kidding, it really is very, very useful. Even examples of how to go about moving a bill and so on. So it's, I would like to thank them and acknowledge all the good work that they do there. So, but yeah, so there's a training session on at 10 as well. And so I'll be leaving at 9:30 to attend that. Before we go any further, though, speaking about Parliament, there's a funeral this coming Saturday of a lady who, Miss Anita, who worked in our Parliament for many years. There are folks who work in Parliament that the public gets to know very well, and then there are those that they don't.
They're in the background. Yeah.
They're in the background, and no matter how large or small some people might consider their role, all roles are important. They help the Parliament to do its business. And in the case of this lady, she was, I first met her in 2013 when I was working as the head of the Office of the Premier. And I would, you may recall, I used to be in Parliament fairly often.
Yes.
And I just want to just pay tribute to this lady, and I'll just read.
Sure.
I'll just read what was written to members. It says, "Dear Honourable Speaker and members of Parliament, it is with deep regret that I inform you of the passing of Mrs. Anita Salmon Bizar, a dedicated staff member of the Parliament of the Cayman Islands for 30 years. 30 years, was he?
Wow. Yeah.
Miss Salmon Bizar, Miss Anita, we all called her, departed this life on Sunday, 25th of May, 2025. Miss Anita was a cherished member of the parliamentary staff, known for her jovial nature, unwavering dedication and warm spirit. Her presence brightened the workplace, and her contributions to the daily life and operations of the institution will be fondly remembered and deeply appreciated by all who had the pleasure of working with her. And I want to say that certainly those words are definitely true. And she is missed. And condolences to all her friends and family. And I just wanted to take a few moments this morning just to remember her to the listening public and to make the public aware of this wonderful lady who served the country and the Parliament for 30 years.
And when did she pass, you say? I was wondering whether or not she had been acknowledged during the Finance Committee session, recognizing that is not really, full Parliament, even though all members of Parliament comprise the Finance Committee.
Right.
But
25th of May, 2025. So it wasn't, but I'm certain that will occur when the House meets again on the 25th of this month. There'll be an acknowledgement of her passing in Parliament. But wonderful, wonderful lady.
Yes.
And sadly, she's been ill the last few years, but I'll stop there. But condolences again to her family.
Certainly. And I have a few more minutes before we go to the commercial break. So hopefully the new speaker will be there for at least 4 years. We have seen the changes that have taken place so far, the progress that has been made in reforming our parliament, as well as modernizing it to a certain extent. I'm sure that there are still things that need to be accomplished. I'm sure that our new speaker, with his wide knowledge and exposure as well, may have other ideas that he would want to implement. Of course, it would have to come with the concurrence of all of the members of Parliament. But what do you think about that?
I believe he will be there for 4 years. We had during the last Parliament there was a number of changes, but let's just hope that's in our history, and that won't be repeated. I'm looking forward to 4 years of normalcy, shall we say. I'm on the opposition benches. I think that's a good, in terms of my party. I'm looking forward to utilising these 4 years to rebuild and to prepare for the next election. But the country needs some stability, and I think Mr. Miller, Speaker Miller, is an excellent individual to be in the job. I was very pleased to hear and see him, to hear that he was put forward, and to see him then take a seat in Parliament as a Speaker. I think he will do good things. He's held a few meetings with us, again, just to help us get up to speed and to listen to concerns and so on. He really has a vast amount of knowledge and experience. I'm glad that we're actually utilizing that for the benefit of the country.
Do you have any views in relation to the support staff at the LA, especially in terms of legislation and research? And I know you're good at your research, and but that was when you were in another seat. Now you're the member of Parliament representing a constituency, and you will have other responsibilities as well. May not have as much flexibility as you had in the past in terms of doing research. Are you looking forward to any type of enhancements there as far as staffing and support is concerned?
We have come a long way, I think, from 2013 when I first started going into the halls of Parliament, in terms of the staff that's there, but there's still more we need to do. And I thought this when I was working on behalf of the then government. I thought it also when I was in the opposition. But there are still things that I think is needed, particularly to assist members of the opposition. It's an important role to be the opposition, and what's sometimes not always available to you is the ability to have access to certain types of skills. Luckily, we have, for instance, lawyers in our midst that we can call on from time to time if we need that sort of advice. But there's more that's needed to happen, I think, in terms of building out the capacity within the opposition to make sure that the opposition can do the job it should be doing. I think we did a very good job in opposition last time around, to be quite frank. Yes, I was there. We had members contributed from their own pockets for us to be able to utilize the services of another individual who had particular skills and knowledge and experience that was extremely useful to us over 4 years. That person is now gone, has retired, but members shouldn't really have to be digging into their own pockets to fund these kinds of things. So I'm hoping that over the course of this term, we'll be able to improve the capacity of the opposition to do the role that the country expects us to do.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, do you want to talk about the opening of your constituency office as well, or you want to leave that for a little bit later?
No, that and a few more things, yes.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue with the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, MP Kenneth Bryan, and the parliamentary representative for the constituency of Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum. So please stay tuned.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Are you feeling overwhelmed, sad, stressed out, or suicidal and need support? Call 1-800-534-6463. K-Mind, Mental Health Helpline. It's okay to ask for help. K-Mind Mental Health Helpline, available from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday. It's free and confidential support and guidance on your emotional and psychological health.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Member of Parliament, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, and the representative for Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum, Deputy Leader of the Opposition. Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and good morning to my colleague Roy Tatum, and good morning to the listening audience across the world via radio, via YouTube, and any other social media platform. It's truly a pleasure to be here this morning. I do apologize, and I'm thankful to my colleague for covering me. Traffic was interesting, and to that lovely lady who saw me in traffic, hopefully you're still listening. I am here now.
You said she pointed to you and said you're on the radio.
So as my colleague was saying that, I was in traffic, I was literally in traffic, and somebody was listening to you guys speaking, and then saw me in my truck. So interesting, but it's a pleasure to be here. I think before you went to the break, my colleague, Mr. Tatum, was speaking about the support necessary for opposition, and it's such a important topic because we're actually going to the meeting, which I know you covered as well before I came on, the Law Reform Commission, offering training for members who've been there the first time, and I don't think Mr. Roy needs that much because he's been around Parliament just as long as I have.
Yeah, but I'm finding out either don't know.
But he definitely has a heads up over many people who were there for the first time. I think he wish things were different because I think he would have been an amazing minister.
Thank you,
his
sir.
knowledge is in some cases a lot further than mine. He's been exposed to conversations with the royal family. Constitutional reform. He got to, even though I was the deputy premier for 6 months, he got to see some and be in some environments, so his knowledge is going to be vast. But speaking about our position in opposition, we can only be as good as the available resources available to us. And he brought up a very important point, which I'm hoping there will be solutions and in short order, which is we are going to be doing everything that we can to make sure we deliver the official opposition's duties, which is to primarily to hold the government accountable keep them transparent, support them where policies and legislation that they bring are, in our view, in the best interest of the country. Where they're not, explain why we think they're not, and explain to the public why we will not support it. But at the end of the day, we have to recognize that we are not the majority. The government is, and as the old saying goes, the government will have their day, but the opposition shall have their say. But in that role, there's a significant amount of things that we need to do. I think about the fact that when we were in cabinet, we had a number of resources available to us. We had over 5,000 civil servants that we can call at any point to give us data research and analysis and policy advice. And also from a finance perspective, financial assessment of budgets and numbers and figures. In the Commonwealth, particularly in the UK, those kinds of resources are also available to the official opposition, but here in Cayman it isn't. And we need to advance our parliamentary proceedings and legislation, particularly for Parliament, to allow the official opposition to have access to that. So what do I mean by that? If we have to go through I think it's a 6,000-page budget document, not every person who's elected comes from financial background, or not everybody who's doing the assessment of the legislation speaks the legalese, as they would say, or be able to help the specifics in drafting a piece of bill if we thought we would bring something forward. In the UK, the official opposition will have access to legal to guide them through the formulation of the words of the intent of the policy you're trying to create, or to examine a policy or legislation that the government is proposing to make sure we know what the intent of the law is, because it's not always black and white and straightforward. So if you don't have that support mechanism, it's not as easy to do your job. Also, the necessary spacing for the official opposition office, because the opposition is the group that, sadly to say it like this, not a negative connotation, but opposes the government. It's the opposite thereof, the government. But people may not necessarily want to come to the progressives. They may want to come to those who are not supporting the government to say the government's policy is this, we don't think it's good for the country, but we're not particularly in support of your party, but you are the official opposition. So there needs to, in the Commonwealth Parliamentary Convention, is that you can go to the official opposition without having it to be necessarily going to a particular party, because you have a constitutional role. So you need to have resources that allows you to address those things. So you need headquarters, you need staff, you need people who will help draft, just because they say the opposition is the government in waiting. When we have to do statements, we have to do parliamentary responses. Now, a lot of that in the UK is done from the Parliament over there, and I think that there's hundreds of staff members in the Parliament. We don't have that option here in Cayman. I've been able to do some research with some other overseas opposition leaders where there is provisions made for support for the office of the opposition, whether that be for funding for an office and funding for particular staff. Now, we've gone through the process. I don't want to go too deep into it and allow the process to happen, because there's been some positive direction in it. But we have talked to the Speaker and the Clerk of the Parliament, and proposing that the Parliamentary Committee make some amendments to the Parliament Management Act to make amendments to add certain positions to the official opposition. Therefore, that when the new budget comes into play, we'll have those resources available to us. So hopefully that allows us to be more effective and holding the government accountable in a transparent and positive way. But I know my colleague was covering some proceedings that we're planning to deal with. As you know, Parliament will start on the 25th? 25th. The 25th, which is a Wednesday, 25th, 26th, and 27th. Now, the 26th is a opposition day. We are considering some motions to be filed. We haven't filed them yet.
That's a favor before you change the topic. Just to end that last matter you were just discussing. I take my hat off to the current Speaker when he was leader of the opposition several years ago. he actually successfully lobbied the then government and was able to put in place an office of the Leader of the Opposition. That carried forward when Roy McTaggart became leader of the Opposition, and I then joined him in that role. Mm-hmm. Somehow between the transition of the new rules, that was sadly missed out. So the changes that we're being mentioned here now is to reinstate what the then Speaker had in place and continued with Honourable Roy McTaggart in terms of a recognised office space and at least one staff member. So we're looking at putting it back in place and enhancing it again to keep building for the future. So I just wanted to give credit to the current Speaker when he was Leader of the Opposition in recognising the importance of the opposition and the important things that need to happen. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay, let's take this opportunity now to take a commercial break. Then, folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record as we continue our conversation with the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and Member of Parliament representing Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum. Mr. Bryan, over to you.
Mr. Connor, in light of the limited time that we do have, I want to outline what we're going to do next. So I'm just going to list off some questions that that I've already filed, and there's a number of other questions that are being filed by other members of the opposition and will be released shortly. But I'm just going to list out the ones that we have thus far, and then I want to transition to my colleague as he has some good announcements today in respect to what's happening in his constituency. Once that's wrapped up, if we have a little bit of time, we can take some calls that we know where we're going.
Okay.
So there are some that I've already filed which are going to be topical, and I think that you've had the good member from Cayman Brac, Mr. Elvis McKeever, questioning about this one. So I'll go to that one first, which is, in light, and this question goes to the Honourable Premier, Minister for Financial Services and Commerce, but this is in general policy, so it goes directly to him. In light of the referendum results from the recent general election in April 2025, can the Honourable Premier say what is the government's policy position / way forward on 1, the cruise birthing facilities, 2, the national lottery, and 3, the decriminalization of marijuana in small amounts? We cannot pretend like we didn't have a referendum and the thousands and thousands of people who participated. And constantly I hear, and our colleagues in our opposition hear, people are saying, well, what's going to happen now with these areas? And I think the only one that is somewhat level of certainty that we know nothing's going to happen is the cruise situation. And we respect that. We've always, the People's Progressive Movement have said we will respect the people's will on the outcome. And so one is quite easy to decipher, to say, okay, we'll do nothing. But the other two has come back in the majority. So, but we are the opposition, so we want to allow this question to inform the people. I personally think that they should have been willing to make a statement on those already, but hopefully they will do so on the floor of the House. The next question is to the Honourable Minister of Planning, the Honourable J. Ebanks, the member from the North Side. Can the Honourable Minister say whether the government has any intention in cutting any major projects? If so, can the Minister give details on which projects and why? Obviously, we've heard all the talk about the potential. I'm not even going to specify any projects. They'll have to specify what those are. But we are of the view that in light of the first quarter results and the surplus more than what they expected, I know they may want to muddle with the words, and over time we're going to do a very detailed expose on the finances, because accounting and how the government works is very tricky if you don't know it, and you can twist the words one way or the other to make it seem like you got money but you don't have money, and we're not going to play that game. But what we do know is the first quarter results show a whopping $54 million more than what they projected from in the preview. So on the outside looking in, it looks as if to say that it can't be money be the reason why they make any cuts, if they intend to make any. So give them an opportunity to say what their position is.
Okay, for the curious listener and observer out there, the 46 million, was it? Somewhere around it, 40 plus million that was just approved in Finance Committee.
Yes.
That money, where is that coming from?
That money it's a supplementary, so it's approval from the House of Parliament. Bearing in mind that those monies would have been accounted for within the preview projections. So though the monies are approved, the deficit or any surplus that would have been projected in the preview would have taken into account what more monies they would have needed. So this money that was approved, it was expected that we would have to come back to Parliament and get them. You may have heard me come on the radio before and say that these two ministries, Health, HSA, NGS 55, and Poor Persons Relief, were under budgeted by the two ministers, who is one of those ministers is now the Premier, the Honourable Andre Ebanks, as well as the former minister, the Honourable Sabrina Turner. So we knew that we'd have to come out to Parliament, no matter which government is in. So this is not a surprise. And that amount of money was considered within the preview projections. What was not considered in that preview projections is the $54 million more than what they thought would have happened. Okay. So we're not surprised by that. Got an opportunity to highlight it. The next question goes to, again, the member for Social Development, the new minister, Honourable Isaac Rankin. Can the Honourable Minister say how many Caymanians are being assisted by the Department of Financial Assistance for rental assistance? We have a new government, but things are still difficult for persons out there, and there's some questions around the NAU that needs to be followed up through. The next two, quickly. The question is to the Honourable Minister of Planning again, the Honourable Member for Northside, J. Ebanks. Can the Honourable Minister say how many affordable houses have been built in the last 4 years, and does the Minister intend to build any affordable houses in the district of Georgetown? Now, this has been a major point for many people in Georgetown, where all the houses are either in the eastern districts or in Bordentown, and we are fully aware that government has Crown properties in Georgetown. So I won't go any further into the questioning from there and allow him to respond as the government's position. Because
he did speak to that on a recent show that he was on here in relation to Georgetown as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, he can give the fuller clarity to the public.
In the answer, yes.
I think he didn't get to hear the whole show. I need to go back and listen to the whole thing. But he indicated that they were looking for more land in Bordentown, primarily.
Yes.
To build additional homes in Bordentown. And in Georgetown, I think they're only looking so far at the courts.
Right, yeah. It seems as if whatever was on Linford
yeah.
Pearson Way, that's going to be abandoned simply because of, the flooding concerns and everything else. So it doesn't seem as if that property was going to be used again.
Now, if that is...
He didn't say that, but my take on it was that they're not going to abandon that site too. Yeah.
And potentially impacts the land. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the issue I have with it is there's limited space in Georgetown that you have available for affordable homes. So people from Georgetown are going to the Boddentown area, right? That's can't say a large part. It's a part of the reason why traffic has been increasing over there, because people have been moving there. So if you're from Georgetown, you want to stay within Georgetown, and the government's looking to provide affordable housing. The old Cox quarter isn't sufficient to provide the needs. So where are we going to go? So I'm not satisfied personally that I've received that the sufficient research has been done that none of that property can be used. Yes, if there is concerns with regards to, and there are concerns, if there are concerns with regards to the potential impact of flooding, this is 2025, right? There must be ways that we can resolve that and at least utilize some of that property, leave the rest so low for rainwater runoff and so on. But there must be some ability to use at least some of it. I just don't agree with just saying that we're not going to use any of it without anybody actually looking and studying and seeing what is possible. So I leave it at that.
Yeah, valid points there from Roy T. In respect to that, hence the reason for the question.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to put words in their mouth or thoughts in their heads, so they have to explain, because the good 7 constituencies are in the Georgetown area, and all the housing that's been built over the last 4 years, and I want to commend the Minister for Housing. He's worked really hard. He was obviously my colleague and friend for 4 years, and we're still friends. But he now speaks on behalf of his other 10 colleagues in his government now. So he needs to speak to the way forward for housing, and particularly for the 7 constituencies of Georgetown. Too many Georgetowners are being forced to move out of the district where they grew up, loved, and all their family members are at, just to get a home. And we have to address that, so they got to tell us their thoughts. Last question here. Can the Honourable Minister say, and this goes to the Minister for Prospect, the Honourable Michael Miles, can the Honourable Minister say whether the government intends to implement a new minimum wage? If so, when and how much? Pretty straightforward, because these are topical things that was a part of the campaign by all persons, but also very topical for the labour market, and people need to know, businesses need to know. It's promising commitments and so forth. We were legally obligated to make the amendments to the minimum wage after a certain period of time. That didn't happen in the last administration. The new minister now has to say what his government's position is going to be, because the public wants to know. I filed a different question. I don't have it here with me. I got to find out my email, but I want to take this opportunity now to transition to Roy T. to speak about some positive things he has to announce.
Yes.
Before we speak about positive things, I just want to come back to the very first parliamentary question that you mentioned. Cruise berthing, yes, the referendum on cruise berthing infrastructure has been answered, but the government still needs to say what will happen to the thousands who are involved with the cruise sector. How are they going to be? What sort of cruise industry we're going to have going forward?
Correct.
So that needs to also happen. And I'll add that Jay has done a very good job with housing. But he's done an even better job, in my view, in terms of the roads. And I met with NRA recently. A lot of the concerns, a fair bit of concerns within Red Bay and Prospect have to do with roads and drainage. NRA was very helpful. They're coming back to me with some answers. I also have a number of PQs, parliamentary questions, that will be submitted. I can't mention them today because there's a new standing order that states that you cannot publish or speak of your, I don't know if this is exactly what it says, you can correct me, Kenneth, of your parliamentary questions before they're approved by the Speaker. I'm not going to incur the Speaker's wrath. So I won't mention them today, but I have a number of parliamentary questions, as Kenneth mentioned, as do others.
But there should be a way to get around that in terms of
same thing I said.
You just don't say that it's going to be a parliamentary question, but you
probably could.
Some of the concerns that I have.
You probably could. You probably could mention it generally, but I will. This is my first outing. I will go straight down.
Yes. Straight down the path. Just to opine a little bit further on that, the standing order say you cannot publish the question. And publish, by its definition, is very subjective. I think the safest way to say that is I intend to file a parliamentary question, and if it is approved, here is what will like to happen. Because you can't stop the communication with the public of your job and your role in the opposition. But just for clarity for today, all of my questions have already been submitted, and they all have been already approved. My colleague has just highlighted that there is some that he and others in the group will be filing later this week. Speaking of which, I just found the number 6 because there's 6 of them I filed already. The last one was to the leader, to the Minister of Finance, Economic and Education and Training. Can the Honourable Minister say whether the government is still projected to show a deficit at the end of the current budget year, in light of the first quarter surplus recently announced? Because you keep on skirting around this thing and you can't get a clear answer. So I think it's important that whatever reasons they give, whether we agree with it or not, they need to specify that. Because everybody's saying, well, what does this mean? They got more money. Is there going to be a deficit or not? I know they've tried to talk a little bit about that. Well, you can't tell because you got 3 quarters to go. But that preview report was based on projections that were not factored in an extra $54 million.
Okay, we're going to go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. One of our listeners is curious to know whether or not you believe that the Scranton Park is in jeopardy in any way, or whether or not the full funding of that has already been achieved as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the headline news.
Covering Little Cayman, Kenneth Bryan.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Heads up for drivers. The National Roads Authority will be doing roadworks near the intersection of Frank Sound and Seaview Roads on Thursday between 9 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Motorists are being advised to exercise caution as it will be an active work zone and the road surface will be uneven. Los Angeles police say they have made mass arrests after a 5th day of protests over U.S. President Donald Trump's immigration raids. Mayor Karen Bass declared an overnight curfew within a relatively small area of the city's downtown district, saying businesses were being vandalized and looted. Elsewhere, the immigration raids that triggered the protests last Friday have continued, with deployed National Guard troops now protecting border control agents on enforcement operations. And South Korea's military says it has suspended its loudspeaker propaganda broadcasts across the border to North Korea as part of a bid to, quote, restore trust between countries. The move comes a week after the country elected its new president, Lee Jae-myung, who had campaigned on improving inter-Korean ties. Pyongyang considers the loudspeaker propaganda broadcasts an act of war and has threatened to blow them up in the past. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
The Health Services Authority would like to thank you, the Cayman community, for voting us the Best of Cayman Islands 2024 in 13 medical categories. As the largest and longest healthcare provider in the Cayman Islands, we have been caring for you for many generations, helping the people of our islands live longer, healthier, and happier lives. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you. For more information, visit hsa.ky or call 949-8600.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have about half an hour to go before Mr. Roy Tatum and the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, MP Kenneth Bryan, will have to leave us. In addition to that question about the Scranton Park, another listener has written and said, does Honourable Bryan think the immigration proposals go far enough?
Well, I'm going to be quite quick with that. The official opposition has no position on the immigration proposals because they're not very clear. They're very ambiguous. The only concrete thing I've heard thus far is they're considering a 2-year rollover and the civil service contracted workers. So there's no real fine details, and it would be inappropriate for us to comment on it until we fully analyze, because one minor change can mean a ripple effect in many others. Yeah. So we're waiting for their official position, and we will caucus together and go through it and do our analysis and the legal implications.
Which would be after the drafting instructions have been complied with, and we end up with a document.
Exactly. That was what I was about to say. Until you have something in black and white. The intentions seem good. Let's just see what actually comes out of the wash and what's in black and white. I will say this: the recent announcements with regards to opening up doors that have been closed in the past, with regards to, for instance, university students overseas and what they're studying, and trying to get a better idea of how you can link that to jobs and work purpose. I think that's excellent. It's been tried in the past, and there was pushback. I have a sense that some of the pushback that we, certainly when I was there with Sir Alden, some of the things I was hearing, that kind of a pushback is less than, I don't know what you were hearing when you were minister, has lessened in terms of the willingness of the of civil service to do certain things. So
yes. So as for the Central Scranton Park, I have not had any indications whatsoever of them making any cuts to the Central Scranton Park, and I hope there will be none. I, before leaving, made sure that all the monies necessary for the park were allocated specifically in the line item for the completion of the park. Also, both contracts for the two entities that were selected to build and complete the park have been signed, and major works are far along the way. I would say they're probably about 65% of the way. Okay. I went to visit. I frequent the area to keep a check on what's going on. I know they're probably annoyed by me, but it's really something that is important to me, and I check with the project managers now and then, and I know somebody's probably peeking through the government window to see me down there, but I'm just wanting to make sure it's completed, and I'll be humble this morning to say, I beg in the government, please do not undermine this project. It's bigger than, it's not a central park, it's a park for the country. It also has two major components outside of a park. It's a senior center, which is specific for senior opportunities, and we don't have one in Georgetown at all, and then a youth center. And it also is a park adjacent to the government building where civil service employees can get some mental space break from work, and there's an access point at the back where civil servants can go down there, have their lunch, and just get some outside environment, mental space, mental health break from work. So there's more to it than just a park. I know some people are like, oh, Kenneth and his vanity park, I heard that through the campaign, but it's not about me. This is bigger than Central. It's bigger than the constituency. It's bigger than Georgetown as a district. It's a holistic park that has specific parts to it. So I do believe, I think the Minister, Honorable J.E. Banks, is intended to take it over, rather than it was under the Ministry of Tourism at the time, due to the fact that I was the representative of Georgetown Central. So I think it may be transferred to Honorable Minister Jay, who deals with parks. And if I know Jay well, I think he will do a very good job in making sure it's completed. He is my friend. I think most people know that. But I can't impose myself, and I'm just begging humbly. But in light of time, I really do want my colleague to speak about those things before we get ready and leave out of here.
Sure.
I think we're okay for time so far. But okay. In terms of, just happy to announce, you might have seen something in social media, that the Red Bay constituency office will be opening next week, Wednesday on the 18th. Opening will start at 4:30. We'll carry that on till 7:30. And we're looking forward to getting the office fully open and functional. I have two fantastic individuals who are working with me. John Edward, who worked with Sir Alden and knows and is from Red Bay, and knows Red Bay very well, knows people, and he is just a real decent, good-hearted individual. On Christmas morning, while many of us are opening presents, he's out delivering presents through various parts of Grand Cayman, trying to bring cheer to other people.
Right.
So he's working with me, as is Vicky, who worked with Barbara over the last 8 years. Very dynamic individual, experienced in running a constituency office. So the three of us are really looking forward to welcoming folks for the official opening. On the 18th, we are open now in any event, and we've actually started working from the space just this past week, full time. It's a 33 Marina Drive office that previously was used by former Minister Sabrina Turner. It's actually located within the Red Bay constituency. So we were able to obtain that property, and thanks to Miss Delio, who owns their house. And we are looking forward to now that some things and repairs and renovations have been done. Look forward to serving the community over the course of this term, and really looking forward to seeing people out on the 18th. Invited a few of our founders there. Hopefully they can make it. And 18th of this month, next week, Wednesday, 4:30 p.m., 33 Marina Drive, the new Red Bay constituency office.
Yes, so Mr. Connor, obviously we're excited in respect to this opening. We recently had the opening for Georgetown West constituency, and two of our members are brand new to the parliamentary process, but as committed as has ever been in respect to continued representation for their constituencies.
And that office is at the Four-Way Junction, I believe?
Yes, for Miss Perlina McGall-Lumsden, yes, right next to the hospital four-way stop, where Miss Barbara and David's office was before, so she's just replaced there. So very known to the public. We intend to not only represent Red Bay, but also there's many supporters of the People's Progressive Movement that are of Prospect as well. As you know, we're not going anywhere. We intend to grow and improve our party. So it's important to have our presence. And as you've heard from our leader, the Honorable Joseph Hugh, before, as time progresses and we put checks and balances in place and things in line and so forth, that we hope to even have some in West Bay. Obviously, it takes money, it takes setup and connections with the good people of West Bay. So in time, you can see the necessary steps, and these are just some of them.
And we do have PPM members in West Bay.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's not like we are going into a brand new location, but it's more about making sure there's a general presence. We need to do better presence in West Bay, because we do love our West Bay people from the Gaza, as they would say. Mr. Connor, I think that I always try to feel it's necessary to allow the listening audience to, even if it's just 3 questions we answer. I think if we leave here at least 20 minutes to 10, we can get to Parliament in time. So I'm happy to open up the phone calls now.
Okay, so let's go to the commercial break. We advise our listeners that the phone lines are open. If you have any questions or comments that you want to play offer to the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Bryan, or the the representative for Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum, or toll-free number 1-800-534-8255, also 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925-3261. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have opened up the phone lines for you to converse with the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and the representative for Red Bay. We have one caller, first caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record. That's on the landline. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record. Not hearing
Hello.
anyone. Yeah,
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Doc?
I'm fine, and good morning to your guest, the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and the member for Red Bay.
Good morning, Dr. McPhail. How you doing, sir? It's lovely to hear your voice.
That's great. I was just listening to the show, and I was listening to for the moderator, what he was talking about, Mr. For the Record, about the Parliament. And what I noticed that although we have a Parliament, it's only a skeleton.
True.
I noticed that last year when I was invited to speak to the Mr. For the Record and I, we were invited to make presentations to the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association auditors who came to audit our Parliament. That there was a function for them, and the function was at Government House, at the governor's house, and I thought that was odd. I know that the governor was very pleased to host the function because she invited me there.
But it shouldn't be there, though.
What it seems to me is that that tells me that Parliament does not have any support mechanisms to help it along. For instance, there is no reception hall for Parliament. If you have guests coming from overseas, you have to go down to the Government House, which is the private house of the governor, to have a reception, and that's not kosher. There should be a reception hall to receive other dignitaries from other parliaments and so forth. That's number one. Number two, there's no library in the Parliament. there's no parliamentary library where you can go and look at the Hansards, and you can go and look at the motions, and you can go and you can do research through all the parliaments from books and records and so forth. In the British Columbia Parliament, I think there are 76,000 volumes that I can go and look at, and I can see what John A. MacDonald said long time ago, from 100 odd years ago. All the records are there. The other thing is that there's no support. There's no research support for the parliamentarians. Well, when they're doing their research and they're on the floor and they need some academic support, there's none. There's no one there who can say, well, this is what happened 10 years ago. This is what the speech was 10 years ago. This is what a minister said 10 years ago, and so forth. It's just a hollow shell call itself a parliament. I think that has to be done, and then there are a lot of room in the back there to build a library, to build a reception hall for parliamentarians and for dignitaries, and every other parliament has that, where you can go and meet people and they can have the receptions there in Parliament. And I think to call yourself a Parliament just to go down there to speak and to talk to each other across the floor, that is not a Parliament. That is not really a Parliament. It's only a little debating chamber. And I think that that we need to modernize ourselves and move on with all the aids to democracy. Because we look like a backward place, and that's what I see.
Well, Mr. Connor, I want to say thank you so much. He has some very good points, and I intend to respond to him. I think both myself and my colleague Roy T. If that was it, I would want to allow another caller, or if there's anybody else before we respond. And so take all the calls. But if you want me to just respond to him directly now, Mr. Connor, we can do that.
Sure.
Mr. McField hit the nail on the head. It is truly a very limited parliament, not for the lack of trying by the amazing staff and clerk that is there. They do what they can with what they have. The major issue here is funding. Everything that is needed to offer a first world parliament takes money. It takes money for staff. It takes money for headquarters and support and research and technology and all these other things, and open waiting area, as Dr. McField had said. Mm-hmm. I just want to clarify, there is a small library there, but it's not really for the public. And I think that's what he was referring to. There's a small library for staff as well as members of parliament. And they just really recently started it and supplying the necessary documents for it in there.
How many committee rooms do we have there as well?
Two.
Mm-hmm.
Two.
But not set up like other committee rooms where you have mics and stuff set up for chairs and deputy chair and members, and then for the audience, for people to be there as well. That would have to be held in the main chamber.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct. Which I mean, obviously we would like to be as advanced as other modern democracies, but our parliamentary proceedings aren't as advanced as these other facilities. And just because somebody else has it doesn't necessarily mean we have to have it. Mm-hmm. But there is core things that are necessary for the functioning of it. So particularly because we don't meet in Parliament as often, there's nothing wrong with using the Chamber of Parliament for committee function as well, as we've been doing. But Dr. McField is correct in saying that there is land behind it where the old Tower building site is at. And I know the clerk and former speakers have always tried to get the necessary monies allocated within the budget. But it boils down to the government of the day prioritizing enough funding in the budget to the line item for Parliament for these expansions. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows it needs to happen. But there's the competing priorities. There's so many other issues going on in the country.
So true.
So when are we going to take, this matter and prioritize it? I personally think at the very least the support necessary for all members of Parliament to do their constitutional function has to be done. Whether more space has to be expanded, I would support that, and I know the opposition would also support it, the official opposition, and I'm quite sure I can speak for the Honourable Christopher Saunders, who has always been an advocate for this area, but it's whether the government will give the clerk of the Parliament what she requires to expand that, because she would be the chief officer, and what the Speaker of Parliament would like to deliver. With his historical context of Parliament, I know he would like to be able to say he was one of those persons who've expanded. So I can say today that that the official opposition would be in support of the funding necessary for these expansions. But one thing that we are truly concerned about is the necessary tools that we need to deliver our job. Research staff, support by way of research and documentation, analysis, and legal counsel if necessary, particularly when it's our job in respect to bills that are being brought and papers that we have to bring to Parliament. Anything else to add?
Yeah, I appreciate the comments made by my good friend. I'll push back slightly though. I wouldn't. We do have a small Parliament. I wouldn't define it as just a debating chamber at all. The Parliament also has office space that they've rented. So there's money being paid out in any event for offices and so on that are being rented. Parking is hard to come by where they are. So if we had the ability, I remember some years ago, Sir Alden had suggested, but I guess again comes down to funding. One of the old Walker's law firm buildings that was for sale, right next to the Parliament. If we had the ability to actually purchase that right next door, that would provide a lot of space. But that didn't happen. So no sense crying over spilled milk. But there is a need for more space. But yes, we have a small Parliament. It works efficiently. There is need for some more meeting spaces, especially if you're in opposition and you have during budget time or other times you have government ministers taking over maybe the large committee room. You have civil servants in a small committee room. That pretty much, I think there may be some other office spaces that have now opened up, but there is a need to grow, and I agree. And monies, I'll repeat myself, we're forking up monies anyhow, renting space in the heart of Georgetown, which is not cheap.
Yeah, but it's important to, while we wrap up this point, is that the staff are doing a great job at Parliament.
Yes.
It's not because of the lack of trying. It's just simply if there's not monies to do the things that we would like to get done, if they're not there, they can only do so much. I want to send a shout out to not only the staff, but also the Speaker, who's committed to giving better improvements and reform to the Parliament as it's in the structure. Do we have another caller, OC?
Do we have another caller on hold? Doc, are you still there? If you are there, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contribution. We have a WhatsApp caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
And good morning to Mr. Tatum and Deputy Leader Kenneth Bryan.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, when it comes to the banks in the Cayman Islands, is the monetary authority responsible to see that whatever they are doing is legal and is fair according to the laws in the Cayman Islands?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is a straight answer.
Okay. And as politicians, do you all have any power to put laws in place that the banks aren't able to do as they please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I think it's time now for you all to do that. I don't know if you all are afraid to do so because of maybe having something to do with the bank, such as having loans with them, but the banks are going too far. And the future isn't looking good for our young people if the banks are allowed to continue doing as they please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
I think my colleague may want to speak to
Sure,
something in respect to this that is a concern.
Right.
for us.
So during the last Parliament, the Prime Member's motion was brought by the Honourable Roy McTaggart. I'm trying to find the title of it, but it essentially had to do with. Here it is. Prime Member's motion number 14 of 2023 and 2024, entitled Motion on Higher Standards of Bank Duty of Fairness to Customers. That was passed in August 2024. That is something that needs to be dusted off and really considered by the current government. As a former banker, and I actually use that word with some pride, banker, as opposed to just talking about financial services. I worked with Barclays Bank for 13 years. I worked with Butterfield Bank for 20 years, 33 years in banking. And the customer was our focus. I just think that these days I'm no longer in banking, but banks may still refer to the customer as being the focus. But I think in some instances banks have drifted away from that, and particularly when we went through a spate of increases in the lending rates. I did not believe, whilst I understand the rationale, and I still understand the rationale for increasing the actual rates in line with what the market is calling for. I did not agree that you had to, in all instances, continue to increase the repayment amounts. Rates rise and rates fall. We have not heard, I certainly have not heard, and I've asked the question, we have not heard about banks now going back out and reducing those loan payment amounts. Right? Yes, if a customer goes to them, I'm sure that will be accommodated, but the increases were automatic. Why, when the rates came down, why were
should be automatic as well?
So I will leave that at that. But so I agree, and I refer back to that private member's motion, number 14 of 2023 and 2024, which will not die. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, maybe it ought to submit a parliamentary question in respect to that. But the caller's point is that we have to make sure that the relationship within this very important lending relationship, our transaction between banks and borrowers has to be fair. And obviously, many people think it's not fair now, so it's time and opportunity to examine that. Mr. Connor, I want to also state that I know we got another caller on.
Well, we have to take a commercial break.
Okay, I'll quickly say this before we do that then. There is 3 bills that are coming to Parliament on the 25th, 26th, and 27th. It's the Churches Incorporation Amendment Bill, the Virtual Assets Service Providers Amendment Bill, and the Public Service Management Amendment Bill 2025. We're not going to talk about them today. We will go in a little bit further later on between now and the sitting of the House as to whether or not there's major concerns from the official opposition perspective, what we believe the intent of these amendments would be. I think the government should be coming on and telling the public as well. This whole public consultation, where you just release it and then you deal with it on the floor of the House, is not what I think needs to be done. I think that when you have a bill, you come out, public consultation is actually to explain legalese to the public. What are these amendments? What are they meant to do? Because if you only do that process when you're at Parliament the day you're going to vote on it, then there's no opportunity for the public themselves to actually do the feedback and let you know, oh, if that's what it means, I don't like it, or, oh, that's wonderful, proceed. So I think that they should be coming on the radio, going to the public and doing some public iterations, but I'm not here to tell them how to do their job, but I want to suggest maybe it's something for them to consider. But we will do our viewpoints on these. Thus far, there doesn't seem to be any major opposition to it. Nothing has been jumped out of us from either one of the industries that are related to this. I think the primary focus may be on the third one, which is the Public Service Management Amendment Bill, because any changes to that can have some significant effects within our country. So we'll take the break and come back.
Yeah, we'll take the break because you're going to leave at about, what, 22 or quarter to?
Exactly quarter to we're leaving.
Okay, folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market. J.A. Roy Bodden, in association with Ian Randall Publishers, cordially invites you to the launch of his second volume on the study of Caymanian society, Deconstructing Development, Immigration, Society and Economy in Early 21st Century Cayman. The book launch will be held at the Sir Basil Johnson Hall, University College of the Cayman Islands, on Saturday, the 5th of July at 6 p.m. Refreshments, book sales and signing to follow immediately after the launching ceremony. The full complement of J.A. Roy Bodden's published works will also be on sale. The first 50 attendees will receive a complimentary copy of one of the author's previously published works.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have about 10 minutes left to go with the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and a Member of Parliament representing Red Bay. So, gentlemen, I'm going to throw the mic back over to both of you.
Mr. Connor, I'm going to use this opportunity to just highlight some unfortunate passings that it's important to our constituency. Sadly, Georgetown Central has lost a beautiful soul. I'm not sure if you have announced it on the radio station or not since her passing, but Miss Aura Macfield.
No.
Passed away a couple of days ago, and my hearts and prayer are with the family and friends. What a sweet woman! I mean, the smile, and when she was happy with you, you felt loved.
Yes. She had that unique laugh as well.
Oh my goodness, man! I miss it already, and my mom always said, Kenneth, always try to remember to go spend time with people when they get older, because when they're gone, you can't go back. And I'm just so honored to have had a strong relationship with her. Her kids have been so lucky to have her as a mom. She's such a wonderful woman. But my hearts and prayers are with the family, and I want everybody who's listening to pray for all the siblings, all the children, as they go through this difficult time. And I'm certain that the family will announce the funeral services very soon. Also, Miss Anita Beezer, as my colleague highlighted earlier. I want to just say it publicly myself that, Miss Anita was very special to me. She was not only to the Parliament a staple in the Parliament. She was... the Parliament wasn't Parliament without her. I'll just say that. But she was also my constituent. And she struggled a long time with an ailment. And when speaking to her just 2 days before she passed, she was comfortable with her heart with Christ. So I know she's in a good place. Truly will be missed. Another lovely soul again that, I don't know how to explain, but I know that she's a person that, from my parliamentary process and politics started, I've always known her to be a part of it. And my hearts and prayer go out not only for her family, but particularly her husband and her son. She only has one son who is here from Jamaica to see his mother off. And lastly, unfortunately, we still haven't had any update on Andrel Harris.
Yeah.
I've been trying to not to think about it, talk about it, because he's actually a distant cousin of mine, and it's just such a sad circumstance that I'm begging those who are listening to pray for his mother and all of his extended family. They need prayer. They need their strength. And I believe in prayer that it can be something to give. It's one way God give direct strength for us, because the family needs it, and may some miracle happen that he pops up and is still here with us. But just continue to pray for the family. All right, that was the part that I want to make sure I got said today. I'm not sure if my colleague has any closing remarks.
Just to add, I have a few more things, but just to add to the last thing, just the outpouring of love and support that our community has shown for Andrel is testament to what a wonderful individual he is.
Yeah.
So.
But Mr. Connor, I think that particularly the conversation in respect to our parliamentary process and our delivery of those roles will continue to be further examined as we go, not only now, but as we continue to grow our parliament. But we, the official opposition, do have some things that we need to have resolved in short order. The Parliamentary Management Act, there will most likely have to be some amendments to that in order to assist us. But we do agree with Dr. Steve Macfield that some improvements should be there. But I'm honored to know that Mr. Ezard Miller is the Speaker. I think if there's ever going to be a time for advancements of our Parliament, he's the man for the job, and I thank him. He's been very, very supportive of those advancements already, and I know he will deliver because he's a no-nonsense type of guy.
And I have to throw a plug in for my friend and our colleague Sir Alden in terms of the short time when he was there as Speaker.
Correct.
And over the advancements that he brought on his work over the years as well. But Speaker Ezra will do a phenomenal job. Want to just thank Kurt Tibbetts and Alti L. Thompson Jr., I guess it is, for assisting us with a fantastic seniors trip for a number of our seniors in Georgetown that occurred two plus weeks ago.
I heard about that. My sister went on that.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal day. Sir Alan was there along with helping to barbecue, and it was really, really good. They took we had a few seniors from across Georgetown from each constituent, a few from each constituent, so we could take as many as we could. 2 bus loads out to Alti's farm, and had a really, really good afternoon, and it was good camaraderie, good food, and we're planning to do it again at some point in the future this year. I mentioned earlier that I had meetings with the NRA. Minister Jay had mentioned to me when we were in Parliament last, or in Finance Committee, to reach out to him, which I will do, and we'll sit down and discuss some of the needs of the Red Bay constituency. I just want to thank him for that, and I certainly will be doing that. And we also went, myself and John Edward, just going around looking again at a number of roads that need attention. And I want to mention her full name, but Ms. Lula May for that huge bag of mangoes that she gave me. And I saw her tree, and we were talking about mangoes, and she actually felt like mangoes, I think it was. And I said, yeah, I'll take one for my wife. My wife loves mangoes. And she went inside, I came with a bag full. So I want to thank her for that. Fantastic lady. And it's going on a list of things. I think that's pretty much it. But we again thank the people of Red Bay. Looking forward to the office being opened and working with Red Bay, working with my colleagues in the opposition, and obviously my colleagues in the wider Parliament. So I will leave it there. And anything else for you to wrap up with, sir?
That's it. Thank you so much, OC, for having us, and to the listening audience. We look forward to seeing you next week, Wednesday. We will be doing a lot more rotations with all 7 of our members, so it may not be myself and Roy T next time, or it may be the leader is working really, really hard and trying to get our structure together with the party. So we're excited. We're moving forward slowly but surely and responsibly, trying to give the government as much of a honeymoon as we can by still doing our job. So thank you for having us, and we look forward to seeing you next week Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, and while you say that, what's your answer to those persons who say the election is over now and we need to get past that? Have you gotten past that?
I'm certain that we have, whether we wanted to or not. And I guess sometimes it may sound as if we're campaigning still by way of holding the government accountable. And I want the public to be fully aware that we understand the government has been duly elected, and we respect the fact that the Honourable Premier is Andre Ebanks and his cabinet, and we wish them well. We really want them to succeed, because when they succeed, the country succeeds. But we are committed to our role of accountability fairly. And as they do a good job, they won't have any issues with us. But if they don't, we will apply the necessary constitutional pressures and protect our people as we see fit.
Okay, folks, we're going to take our last commercial break. Again, I want to thank the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and the Member of Parliament for Red Bay for making themselves available. And as you have heard, they've committed every Wednesday as much as possible to have someone in the studio with us as well. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
We are in the hurricane season, and knowing what to do after a hurricane can be as important as preparing for the storm. After the passage of a hurricane, seek medical attention if it is needed at hospitals and clinics for those persons who are injured. Do not touch power lines and cables that are down. They may be active. Report them to 911 or the utilities emergency hotlines. Broken tree limbs should be removed from around homes or buildings if possible. This hurricane information has been brought to you by Breeze FM and Radio Cayman.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have about 14 minutes left to go in the show this morning. Our phone lines are still open, or toll-free number 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925-3261. Meanwhile, the Passport and Corporate Services Office, they have announced that on Monday, the 16th of June, this coming Monday, they will close at 12 p.m. It says that the Passport and Corporate Services Office is advising the public that it will close early on Monday, the 16th of June at 12 p.m. to facilitate a staff meeting. The office will reopen to the public on Tuesday, the 17th of June at 9 a.m. Passport and Corporate Services Office thanks the public for their understanding. And if you want any additional information, please call 649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky. Any other news that we can share with you? I think I saw one about a new Deputy Chief Financial Officer being appointed. Yes, here we go. So, the Ministry of Tourism and Trade Development, they have announced that a new Deputy Chief Financial Officer has been appointed. This was issued 10th of June, yesterday. The Ministry of Tourism and Trade Development is pleased to announce the appointment of Sasha Rochester as the new Deputy Chief Financial Officer. Ms. Rochester brings over 17 years of audit and financial management experience to the ministry, having worked across diverse sectors both in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. A chartered accountant by profession, she is also a certified fraud examiner and a certified money laundering specialist, credentials that underscore her deep expertise in financial compliance and risk management. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Management Studies, Accounting, from the University of the West Indies, as well as a diploma in International Public Sector Accounting Standards and a certificate in International Financial Reporting. In her new role, Ms. Rochester will support the Chief Financial Officer in overseeing the ministry's financial operations and ensuring continued compliance with all relevant budgetary and regulatory frameworks. She will also play a key role in the preparation for annual audits and will serve as acting CFO in the CFO's, that is, Chief Financial Officer's, absence, ensuring seamless continuity of financial governance. She's quoted as saying, "I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a part of such an amazing team. I look forward to working collaboratively to support the ministry's goals and believe my skills, experience, and commitment to public service will allow me to make a meaningful contribution to our financial stewardship." Beyond her professional accomplishments, Ms. Rochester is actively involved in community service. She has served in executive roles within the Grand Cayman Toastmasters Club and has volunteered with Meals on Wheels. Her hobbies include reading, enjoying music and movies, and exploring local cuisine. The ministry congratulates Ms. Rochester on her appointment and looks forward to the positive impact of her leadership and expertise. Very grateful for that. And then there was one more that well, we know that the King's birthday celebration is on the 23rd of June, Monday the 23rd of June. That's another holiday coming up. And we here in the Cayman Islands will observe the official birthday of His Majesty King Charles III on Monday the 23rd of June of this year. To mark the occasion, there will be a special parade and presentation of honors in front of Government House on West Bay Road at 8 a.m. So starting a little bit earlier, starting at 8 a.m. Some people still believe that maybe it should be in the afternoon. And also, I thought at one point in time we had switched to having these celebrations on a Saturday, which then would allow people to have the full weekend to enjoy, especially those who desire to be overseas. I believe that used to be the case. Anyway, so Governor Jane Owen will present medals to 2 members of the community who were awarded New Year's honors by His Majesty the King for outstanding service to the Cayman Islands. Former Director of Broadcasting at Radio Cayman, right here, Mr. Loxley E.M. Banks, will be made a member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, known by the acronym MBE, for service to broadcasting. Again, congratulations to Mr. Loxley Banks. And the head of music at John Gray High School, Miss Frances McConvey, will receive a British Empire medal, known by the acronym BEM, for service to music education. So, folks, in addition, an award will be presented to the family of the late Morgan DaCosta, who was awarded the King's Certificate and Badge of Honor in 2024 for service to cultural preservation and development. So, again, congratulations to his family and posthumously to Morgan as well. The parade will feature the uniformed services including the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, Cayman Islands Regiment, Cayman Islands Fire Service, His Majesty's Cayman Islands Prison Service, and the Cayman Islands Coast Guard. Youth organizations will include the Cayman Islands Girls Brigade, Cayman Islands Scouts and Cub Scouts, and the Cayman Islands Cadet Corps. For you members of the public, you are invited to attend this national observation. You're asked to be seated by 7:30 a.m. to ensure the prompt and orderly start of the proceedings. And remember, it is on Monday, the 23rd. It will be at 8 o'clock, and it will be held in front of Government House on West Bay Road as well. The governor will afterwards host a garden party on the, I wonder if this is a typo. The governor will host a garden party on the 13th of June to celebrate His Majesty's birthday. Guests for this? Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, the governor will host a garden party on 13th of June to celebrate His Majesty's birthday. Guests for this invitation-only event. So it's an invitation-only event, so don't try to crash the party. Include those who have contributed to the United Kingdom/Cayman relationship and community representatives selected by elected members of Parliament from all districts. So if you're lucky, you may get an invite from your representative. Today's what? The 11th. So if you haven't already got it, don't keep your hopes up too high. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. The last part of the release goes on to say that the parade and presentation of honors will be, of course, broadcast live on CIG TV and the Cayman Islands government YouTube channel. Not sure if Radio Cayman is going to be part of that or not. The public is invited to follow official Cayman Islands government channels for updates and highlights as well. So that's on the 23rd, Monday the 23rd of June, the King's birthday celebration. Our own Mr. Loxley Banks will be receiving the MBE for service to broadcasting. Miss Frances McConvey, the head of music at the John Gray High School, she will receive the British Empire Medal for service to music education, and an award will also be presented to the family of the late Mr. Morgan DaCosta, who was awarded the King's Certificate and Badge of Honor in 2024 for service to cultural preservation and development. Folks, with that, I have about a minute and a half left. I want to say thanks again to the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and his colleague, Mr. Roy Tatum, for being in the studio. We certainly look forward to more discussions with them, as well as with government, ministers, and parliamentary secretaries, and everyone. We know that their intentions are to do the rounds with the various media entities, and we certainly look forward to that as well. And I have been reliably informed that Radio Cayman always broadcasts live the King's, or the Monarchs, I would say, the Monarchs' birthday celebration. So you will get it live right here on Radio Cayman as well. So those of you who don't have access to YouTube or CIG TV, and we know a lot of you love to listen to the radio as well, and I'm sure that we will have very, very, very good commentary accompanying the proceedings on the 23rd of June as well. Again, thanks to our panelists this morning, our guests in the studio. Thanks to those who contributed, Dr. Steve McFeel, other caller as well. All of you who listened in, those of you who sent WhatsApp messages, big shout out again to those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, those who celebrated one yesterday, or if you're going to be celebrating one tomorrow as well. Have a great day, and as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands. And remember to join Mr. Charles Glidden Challow at 12:15 for Talk Today. God bless.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.
Yesterday,
today,
always and forever.